Women, all women.
You know, this breakfast is always a packed house. And I wondered a little bit this week, would it be quite as packed given the tough times that we're in? And it is just as packed as it ever is. And that sends to me an unbelievable message about the depth of the soul of New York City. And this breakfast sends a message that during this recession, New York City, and as always being led by New York's women, is just as committed to its core values as we ever have been.
22 years, you've now given over $19 million to hundreds of organizations, and in many ways have cleared the way for women and young girls to take their place rightfully in society. And by doing that, you have improved the community as a whole for all people who live in communities.
I wanted to talk a moment about the moment that we are in. We all know that we are in a tremendous, I think, we call it crisis, but we also know it's a tremendous opportunity. It's a moment where what we do means a lot, and it makes an enormous difference. What we do in our actions, what we do with our investments, how we choose to spend our time. We appreciate and we value and we rest on your ability to partner and our ability to partner with you. We are for sure maintaining the level of grant making that we have. We are now retrenching. Very important. This is when women need most, families need most assistance, help, and support. Indeed, we are increasing our grant making. And we are increasing our grant making because of partnerships. Nobody does anything alone.
When I was 16 years old, I was hospitalized because I was severely beaten and then left on the side of the road. Somehow, thank God, I made it to the hospital. I believe that I was blessed with a second chance at life because I had survived something a lot of girls don't make it through. I had been in a car with a man who had bought me for sex. And right after that, I was making a phone call to my pimp. I can't remember anything after that. What happened to me that night, though, is not just my experience. Standing before you today is a young woman that has come so far, thanks to GEMS. I'm a witness to the healing that can be done in these girls' lives. I was able to go back to school, and I did struggle, but with the help of my case manager at GEMS, I was able to learn that we all make mistakes, but I can't let them take me down. I thought at one time I would never be able to graduate from high school, but I did well, and I graduated as valedictorian. And I'm currently in college now. Today, I'm an outreach worker at GEMS, educating young girls on the issue of commercial sexual exploitation. Sometimes people ask me if I could do things all over again, would I have done them differently? And I always say no. I know that it is through my experience that I have grown so much through the support of GEMS that I too can show another girl how beautiful she really is.
For the past 20 years, this organization, which still is young, has been a source of hope and support for so many women living in poverty, and that support is even more important now during these tough economic times.
I went to prison for 2 years, but the truth is my daughter kept me alive. A turning point came while I was in treatment for my drug addiction, and I decided that I was no longer going to be a victim of failure, a danger to myself, or to my daughter, or to the community. I decided to reclaim my hopes and my dreams. The day I received my associate's degree was one of the greatest of my life. The look on the faces of my mother and my daughter were priceless. I was no longer a failure. I finally completed something I started out to do. And once I received my associates, it wasn't enough. A thirst welled up inside of me. And seeing the rest of my friends at CCF pursuing their masters and PhDs made me want more. So now I'm going back to school to get my master's in forensic mental health counseling. As a result of furthering my education and obtaining a degree, I have grown from a young woman without a plan for the future into a confident, wise, and mature person with increasingly clear goals. When I show up to work, it reminds me on a daily basis that I have a purpose in life. I am no longer seen in society as the victim or a problem. I am part of the solution.
I'm dreaming of seeing a world of women coalition across the board. Not only helping the women and the family in New York, because I'm a New Yorker now and I love New York, I can tell you that. So New Yorkers, you cannot help the rest of the world if you don't help the people in your hometown. I am proud of being a woman, and on top of it, an African woman, to break all the stereotypes that they put on us. We all have the power. Women are teachers. We nourish the humanity. Without us, there's no man. And without men, there's no us. Please, all of us, we have to stay together. This economical crisis is going to put a lot of stress on us. But if we give up, not funding organizations that help empower the women, all the work we have been doing for more than 20 years will be washed away. And that cannot happen. We have to stay together, strong as one. Malaika, nakubanda malaika, na milifanya jiji, kijana mwezinya nashindwa na mali sina we. Ingekuwa malaika, yeba, eso, sasubuwaro hayengu, esa, sasubuwaro hayengu.